Good evening, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talk. So we got a treat going down today. We ended up getting some lobsters. We got about 2 dozen here that we've been cooking throughout the evening. But I wanted to do something a little different, and I wanted to shoot a little video explaining this and showing this. Now, a lot of times you'll see when people do steak and lobster, they'll do a nice steak or a nice piece of chicken with a lobster tail. But usually the lobster tails come frozen from the grocery store, and you know they're a little pricey. We ended up getting a good deal on these lobsters. It was a special they were running right now. They were doing $8 a piece, which is outstanding for Texas. They flew in something like 9,000 lobsters, so we picked up a couple dozen of them. But I don't want to use them all today. I don't want to end up buying the 2 dozen, eat them all today, and have the fun and the goodness be over. So what we're going to do is we're going to save some of these tails. Now this video is going to be a little bit gruesome to some people. If you are not the type that can watch that kind of thing, you may not want to keep going, but still hit the like button and the subscribe button. That does help our channel. And if you do enjoy the video, definitely hit the like button and the subscribe button. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of it. Eating lobster is something that everybody does around the world. These lobsters came from Maine. It's the #1 place in the world to get lobster. Countries all over order their lobsters from Maine because of the cold water climate, which makes them really taste delicious. So we're going to jump on over and we're going to take a look. Okay, so right here is the lobster that we're going to be processing right now for you guys today. Basically what I'm doing is I'm going to be cutting. You go all the way up the back, right to the back spine, and you're going to put the knife right in there. And you're going to cut off the tail. Now once you cut off the tail, you are going to get a gel-like substance that will come out. That is their blood. And then you're going to have something that will look like this when it's done. These are just nice lobster tails that you can freeze and use for a later date. Whether you're doing steak, lobster, that type of thing. Now, but then the question comes up, well, what about the body? Can you cook the body? You can cook the body by itself without the tail. A lot of times people will cut the claws and they'll cut the tail, and this gets sold off as like for people that are going to make bisque with it, or a lobster chowder or something like that to give it that nice flavor. You can actually make your bisque from scratch with a lot of the juices that come from the lobster. So, but I'm going to show you real quick how this is done. And I'm going to be as quick as I can with this because I want to end up, I don't want to torture the lobster. The lobster is still live. So as soon as I cut the tail off, my knife ended up getting chipped on something. That was when I was trying to open up a coconut. As soon as you take the tail off, you're going to instantly want to throw it in boiling water. I already have my water boiling here. I've been doing a ton of lobsters already, as you can see right here. And we're processing them up for this evening's meal. We got some tails in there, a lot of claws in there, because I am trying to do something with the tails at a later date. But let's jump on over here and I will show you. This is a super easy process to do. And just gently, you don't have to be gentle about it, but I'm just gently, because I'm taking my time a little bit doing it. So I'm just lightly placing it in there first, and then I'm just going to end up going right down through. If I had 2 hands, it would be a little bit easier. And then I'm going to open up my pot of water right here, and I'm going to throw his head in there. That's his head, his claws, the rest of his body. Cover that up. And there is his tail. I'm going to end up rinsing that off a little bit. There's some black in there and stuff, but I know it's a little bit gruesome of a video. But it's a fact of life that a lot of people eat lobster, and a lot of people freeze tails. They buy just the frozen tail. So I hurried up and knocked out a couple real quick. It's hard to do one-handed because Obviously, I don't want them feeling any pain, but it is something that happens whether you buy it at a grocery store. Just somebody else did the dirty work for you. It's no different than people that butcher cows. Somebody did that. You go get a steak, somebody did the dirty work for you. Now, like I said, these tails I'm going to save. I'm going to save probably a dozen tails. Now, once you throw them in, you cook them. I've got videos on how to cook these if you're interested. But once you've got them, the tails are gone, you cook the rest. You're going to have something that looks like this. You can do a lot with this still. The claws, you can make up some lobster rolls. You can use the bodies to pick and make up a lobster bisque, a lobster chowder. And you can add other stuff like corn, potatoes, shrimp, crab meat, and it will really thicken the soup at not really a whole lot more money depending on where you are. I am on the Texas coast. Lobster is expensive here, but like I said, we got a great deal on them, so I wanted to buy a bunch today, put some up, save it for a later date. And shrimp and stuff we can get pretty cheap. I picked up 3 pounds of shrimp today for 10 bucks. Which is pretty good, and I'll end up doing up something, make like a ceviche with that, mix in some lobster, cut up some lobster claws, mix it up, and then we also have the main course, which is going to be lobster claws. There's some tails in there. My son likes both the claws and the tails. I'm more of a claw fan anyway, so that's how we're breaking that down. Just kind of wanted to do a quick video, show you guys how that's done. I know it was a little gruesome watching it get cut, but like I said, they do it at the grocery store, and it helps to save a lot of money if you can just cut them up, do them yourself, freeze them. That way you can kind of make that money last a little more and get a few extra meals out of it, essentially. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thank you all for watching, and you guys take care. Have a great one.